All right, here we are for PSAT, which is October 13th. We have a couple of things going on that day. The school is going to be shut down entirely, first through fifth periods. Sophomores, juniors, and some freshmen, along with a few homeschool students, will be taking PSAT. And freshmen will be taking two BOYs a state English, one, and biology. And seniors will be at picnic. Anytime you need to contact me regarding this day, please email me prior to the day of and contact me via phone the day of testing. This is the plan by grade level, which I already said for at the first slide. Lunch schedule will be modified and it'll be in the slide later. And like I said, regular class should resume at sixth and seventh periods, but please wait for an announcement to make that movement because we never know what's going to happen that day. Here's a testing map. Most of the school is being used. The yellow highlights have to do with where the BOI students are assigned. They're kind of all over the place, pretty much in Kate and Lote, and some towards the front here and upstairs as well. PSAT is mainly in the social studies, English, freshman hallway, and science area. The bathrooms are also highlighted as well. If you're monitoring, please make sure you know what the numbers that are related to the monitor spots, which we'll discuss later. How to find your assignments. This was shared out last Friday, so you know what your assignments are. The Google Sheet, which if you click here, obviously it's going to go there, but remember that Control F is the easiest thing to do when you get on a tab to look for your either room number or your name or student's name. So I'm going to pull that up quick so we can look at it. Here we have a tab with teacher assignments. We have a tab with student assignments. Don't worry about the colors, that's more for me. We have a map here if you want to look at it more clearly, and then the legend of what the breakdown of the jobs are here. All right, going back to the presentation. You can always find anything related to testing in the shared drive. We're getting really good at that. For people who are assigned to PSAT, this includes monitors and restroom break givers or team captains or masters. Anybody who is assigned to PSAT could potentially give the PSAT exam if something happens. So you need to train like you're giving the test and any other duties that you're assigned. So on that day, if you're a test administrator, you're going to pick your bin up in room 1265 by 7 a.m. This allows you to get organized in your room before kids start showing up. You will have one master list that you will keep with you. You'll record everything you need on there. You'll get test books, answer sheets. You have a coordinator manual already in your mailbox. It looks like this. It's beautiful. Along with that, you got a shortened script, which is pink here, and this is the guide that you're going to use the most. This tells you exactly what to read. This is great for reference. I don't have extra copies of this, so do not lose it. You'll also have a test end time form that needs to go up on your door that indicates where you are at in your section, so we know when classrooms will finish and we can plan or adjust the lunch schedule or dismissal if necessary. You'll have other handouts and door signs, pencils, erasers, tape, and a dry erase. You're not going to have that. Students cannot have highlighters, dictionaries, rulers, or scratch paper. If it's in your bin, you can use it for testing. If it's not in your bin, you cannot use it. Other allowable items that we need to talk about are students are allowed to wear a watch that doesn't connect to Bluetooth. Okay, just a regular, tick-tock clock. Just make sure that you look at it if you have any questions, or send the student to 1265 and we'll look at the watch. But don't waste a lot of time on that. So that other students can keep going, but we'll take care of it. The way that students are going to find their assignments, as always, we'll post in multiple areas of the school where everyone's going to go. Every student will have an assignment that day, either a picnic or BOY or a different room. Almost nobody is going to be in their regular rooms that day. So please go ahead and have students look at that. Monitor duties for PSAT. Like I said, even if you're a monitor, you still need to train as if you're a tester. And here's the layout of what you're expected to do is be in your area from basically 7 until noon. and making sure everybody has everything they need and being in the spot that you are assigned. If you have questions about the spots, please see me. It's easier to just have a private conversation about it. Restroom duties. If you're assigned near a restroom, that's going to be your job to help monitor the restroom, one student at a time when it's not very busy, but the lines can get long. So we're okay with allowing 4 to 5 students in at a time as long as you prop the door open and you advise them to take care of business in a timely manner. And students should always remain quiet in the hallways and the restrooms. Team captain has new duties this year. We've used this role before, but now it comes with a form because we love forms. So the monitor, if you're a team captain, you're in charge of a group of classrooms, which is assigned on the big spreadsheet. You're going to make sure you record when you stop at each room. So there's an orange form. It's yellow, sorry. It looks like this. All right. It's pretty self-explanatory, but it tells you all the duties you have, and you're going to write the room numbers across. And there's some very detailed information about what you need to do, so please pause the video and go through those. If you have questions, ask me. Room prep. The teacher who has people testing in their room are responsible for prepping the room. This is basically your master room prep sheet right here. Early next week, you'll get a sign on the outside of your door that's kind of a checkoff system to make sure that you have it ready to go for when principals will come around the day before and check your rooms. Please make sure that you're not waiting till 4 p.m. the night prior to get your room ready. I understand there's tutorials and things going on, but please have your room in a testing format. I'll let you read that on your own, so pause the video so you can look at it. This is what a room should look like. Please go ahead and pause it when necessary. All desks facing the same direction and in rows, easy to access. Okay, we cannot test in rooms with computers or where there's too much information on the walls. Please cover any information that would happen to help a student on a math or English test. This is something new that we've had a parent bring up. Make sure that the clock in your room works and that a student can use their own personal watch that does not connect to Bluetooth if necessary. It's a big deal for some students to help kind of monitor their own timing. If you don't have a clock in your room, please let me know. If you have any questions, please ask. Students' cell phones need to be powered off, collected, and secured when they come into the room. You can have them power their phone off. That's a big deal, and put it in their backpack. All the backpacks toward the front. We don't want backpacks under student desks. That's a no-no. It's easy to access thing. Everything that has to be over to the side. Students cannot access their backpacks till they leave the room at dismissal. Teacher electronics should be off and out of sight as well. You can pause it and read more about the other prohibited aids here. Calculator use. We are not providing calculators to students. They've been instructed by their math teachers to get one on their own or borrow one from them. On page 117 in your manual, there's a list of approved calculators that you can look at if you have any question about a certain calculator. Security of the exam. As always, you never leave materials unattended. Ever, ever, ever. Okay. Count your materials when you pick them up, after students finish testing, and when you turn them in. So you know it takes a little time to check out and check back in. Please make sure that you are patient during that time. And when you leave your room, please bring everything with you, including the passes, the door signs, everything. I don't want to ask you to go back to your room. That takes too much time. Proctor duties. Go ahead and pause the video and read through this. The big things that students that attend the school regularly, their IDs do not have to be checked, but you can verify who they are with their student ID number. Have them recite that. During the test, you need to actively monitor. Please do not get caught on your phone doing this. That just looks horrible. You should not be behind a desk or with your head in a filing cabinet or grading papers. You need to be actively monitoring the entire time. Make sure that you read scripts ahead of time and you practice them. Students will know if you're not prepared for the test. Correctly time all sections. Report any suspicious behavior to me immediately. Do not wait till the end. That's not fair to the student. And report irregularities when they do happen. Here's what the script pages look like. 95%, 97% of the tests are being given on script 1, which is the pink one here that we've adjusted for you. All the high schools have the same copy. They are also in your coordinator manual. People who have script 3 or 5, I'll talk to them individually. The dismissal script is way in the back at 107. Please make sure that you follow the pink stapled guide to a T. There's a couple of items that are really doubly important. Make sure steps 14 and 13 are not missed, along with every other step, but they have to do with students opting in for a student search so they can receive information from College Board about scholarships and other opportunities for post-secondary readiness. And then a bubble for juniors, especially about qualifying for the National Merit Scholarship. It's super important. This script, you need to practice this pink script. This will be the third time I've held it up. Read it to your friend, your cat, your dog, your partner, your snake, hairless cat if you're Matthew Grayshawn, and just be ready and prepared so it's smooth on day of testing. Here's kind of the breakdown. You can see the word suggested here. Suggested timing guide. Students will be in your rooms by 7:20, if not sooner. During that time, you should be giving the kids their seating assignment. Backpacks and cell phones should already be up. Students should not be sitting on their cell phones in the testing room. It just looks bad, all right? Snacks, etc. need to put off to the side, away from the testing area. By 7:30, easily everybody should be in their seats and proctors should be passing out materials. 7:40 by 7:45, you should be about ready to start reading your scripts and start testing. The entire testing time takes about 3.5 hours with all the questionnaires at the end. And the goal would be to be done by 11, but we are not rushing people, but you need to be prepared so we don't get too far behind. Once you complete all the steps, you can try to find your captain to come give you relief so you can return your materials and then head back to your room after that. Here's the breakdown. Feel free to pause it. These are the things that should be on your whiteboard in your room. I've seen a couple of teachers who do a really great job of breaking down and putting everything up at one time. So I'm going to open that link up here. See if it takes too long. We're going to let that load. I'm going to go back and chat about something. Okay. So here you can look at it. This is what I like to see in rooms is teachers write this entire thing here on their board so that as they go through the sections, they can kind of check them off like we did it. And you have a record of everything that you did. Okay. I think it's great. Maybe I should spell things correctly as well. So I think I'd like to see this on boards when I come through the rooms. Also, English teachers' names on the test book. They should write their English teacher's name on their test book because we get to keep the books in building. Once scores come back, students can review their questions number by number. Seating charts. This is a big deal, so go ahead and pause it. Read all the items, and I'm going to talk here in a minute. Okay, hopefully you've read everything. As you can see in the picture here, there are student initials, and I see kind of some student names, but it's going to tell you exactly what you need to do. You have one on the back of your coordinator manual here. This is kind of your practice one, and I want you to do the real one on this orange paper, which you'll get in your testing bin. Okay, the instructions are on here exactly. I see, like I said, I see initials and I see names. Make sure that you fill it out completely. There's a little part here about tracking numbers. There's only tracking numbers on the Saturday test, which we are not giving this year, thankfully, so do not worry about this little box. If you have any questions or clarification, please ask. Test books. Always keep an accurate count of test books when you pick them up. Test books should be handed out by the proctor individually. It's the proctor's job to hand them out. Have all students write their English teacher's name and class period, if they can remember it, at the top right corner of their test booklet on the front. Collect the books in the same order that you handed them out. Do not bring test books back with answer documents inside. This is kind of a rookie mistake. It's a way of people keeping things organized. It needs to be books and answer documents in separate piles, please. And when you get them back to the testing room, they should already be organized by English teacher's name, so it's easy for us to put them in bins. Student Scantrons, please listen up, pause, and read. I'm going to pause myself. Students do not have to bubble their name on the answer document or their birthday or the school code. All of that information is going to be on a sticker that will be placed here. It saves a ton of time. Please do not have the students bubble their name. They're going to want to do it when they sit down and get the answer document. Tell them no. Please monitor that they're not doing it. Okay? Proctors must hand out all items individually. Before turning in answer documents, you're going to check that the 4 items are filled in here on the back. School code, form code, room code, and test date. The school code is actually on the front, but it's already in the sticker, so if that gets bubbled twice, that's fine. But the back, you definitely need the form code, test ID, and the room code. Remember, there's no serial numbers on this the Wednesday test book, so do not worry about it. Organize your answer documents in alpha order according to the testing roster. Irregularities, if anything happens during the test and you say, Miss Chris, what do we do about this? Or what do we do about that? I'm going to go to these pages, these 10 or 11 pages in the back of the book, and I'm going to find out what we need to do. If you suspect anything is wrong, please let us know as soon as possible so we can investigate. And if you need to fill out an irregularity report, I will get you a copy. Door signs, obviously the do not disturb sign, and then the other sign you're going to have is the end time for testing. You're going to hang that on the door after the beginning of section 4 and fill in the end time. Sometimes the signs vary from test to test, but just please make sure if it's in your folder, you get it on the door. Attendance, oh boy, that's tiny. I don't know why it's tiny. Okay. Okay, so at 8 o'clock in the morning, around there or so, an assistant principal who's assigned to your area will come and pick up your absent student answer documents. That is how we keep attendance. You're going to keep the roster with you, okay? Any student that arrives late, the front office will be directed to send them to 1265 and we'll make a decision about what to do. But once you have started, the students have actually started bubbling something in their test in a section, you cannot allow a student in. Breaks, no cell phone use by students, no talking about the test. Students should remain silent during breaks, and they should remain in the rooms as much as possible. Do not send 30 kids out into the hallway to take a break. That we just don't have the capacity for that. Only one student at a time should leave to use the restroom during the test. If it's on a break, it's okay if you send a couple at a time because the breaks are so short. Snacks are permitted during breaks only. It's very short. They can be eaten outside of the room or away from testing materials. They should be put in a designated area. They should not be at student desks. A bottle of water under a desk is okay with me, as long as there's not stuff on the desks. No snacks and drinks at the student desk. They come in with their Chick-fil-A and their coffee. None of that at the desk. Gum is okay. If a student has peppermints, they can unwrap it prior to testing. Students with accommodations, that only really applies to 2 rooms, and those people will be trained separately. But if you're interested, that starts on page 21. When the test is over, finally, collect all materials in the order that you passed them out. We've talked about in prior trainings about snaking down the rows like this. It's just a practice that College Board likes to instill. We have a little bit of flexibility with PSAT. Separate answer documents from answer sheets, please. Separate, and make sure that the English teacher's name is on the book. Make sure that the 4 items that need to be bubbled are bubbled, and make sure that the national merit and student searches are bubbled. The student gets a choice on that, but we highly encourage them to do it. Prepare your testing bin for return, remove all signs from the door, and then wait for a staff member to come relieve you. You can try to call or text me about it, But honestly, you have somebody assigned to your area and they should be rotating around as quickly as they can. Do not dismiss students until you hear an announcement or if an administrator comes by to let them go. Lunches for October 13th. This is the plan. It's slightly modified. We're going to go with 3 lunches since seniors will be off campus. Lunches will be pretty packed. The freshman BOY rooms will go from 11 to 11:30. PSAT juniors and PSAT ninth graders will go from 11:30 to 12:10. They may get released back to their rooms a little bit early. And then those juniors and ninth graders are going to have to return to their testing room. So you need to make sure you're back in there to receive them at 12:10, maybe 12:05. 12:10 to 12:49, sophomores will go to the cafeteria. They need to take all of their items with them because they'll be hopefully transitioning to sixth period at that time. The rest of the day, we do plan to return to sixth period, but you need to wait for instructions to move. Regular online attendance should be taken at sixth and seventh period. If you have any questions, please ask. I know training this way is sometimes difficult for people, but please ask your friends, talk to them, and see what they understand. And if there's still questions, please ask for clarification. I'm always here to help answer a question. Email is the fastest way to get to me. And if anything happens, prior the night before testing or the morning of, please communicate that to me directly as soon as possible. Thank you.